What's up, guys? Big Papa Drock back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having a good day. I just watched the national championship game for football, for college football, between Michigan and Washington, and I can't lie, I was rooting for Washington and they lost, which was a bummer. So I'm not like sad that, you know, Michigan won. I'm not a Michigan hater or a Washington fan. I'm a Gator fan, so I've already experienced enough pain this season. But I don't know, it's nice when you see an underdog win, you know what I mean? Like, I really wanted a team that basically never ever wins to get it. You kind of make the same argument that Michigan hasn't won in a long time. But anyway, that's what I've been up to. I hope you've been up to something fun. Beyond that, though, talking raid, what I've also been up to is building Mezomel Looperfang. So if you guys know, Mezomel is one of the mythicals that was released in the last several months. And I finally put some solid gear on her to build her and do a showcase. So hold on. Okay, there she is. Is it just me, or whenever I go into the filter stuff, the fact that I can't just close out of this, I have to delete the champion name or it doesn't disappear? Does that mess anybody else up? Because it messes me up all the time. Maybe that's why I don't use the filter system. I can't get it. I can't figure it out, guys. Okay, Mezomel Looperfang. So this champion has been interesting in that she hasn't been super well received, kind of like Siegfried. I do think she is better than Siegfried, and I have seen her in arena do some pretty nutty stuff. But there are some critiques of her that I don't even know if they're necessarily fair. We'll get to that in a second. But before we do that, let's take a look at her kit. Let's break her down, and then we'll look at how I've built her and why I've built her the way that I have, which is very different from most nukers that I've built. So obviously, as a mythical, Mezomel has two different forms. Her base form, she's got Moonclaw, attacks one enemy, places a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. She's attack based, so damage is based on attack. That's cool, sure. You'll also notice she has to ignore resistance, so she does need accuracy if you're going to place any of her debuffs, etc., which is important to note because her secondary form does place some important debuffs. So just something to keep in mind. Obviously, in today's meta, accuracy can be bad because of polymorph, but maybe, God willing, that will change. Fingers crossed, please, Plarium, please. Anyway, on to the A2. Scarlet Crescent. This is like the ability I think that she is most known for and what makes her the scariest. Attacks one enemy 2 times, so it's a 2-hitter. Will ignore Stone Skin, Strengthen, Ally Protection, and Shield buffs. Places a block revive debuff if the target is killed. So yes, she does have the ability to block revive champions. And as we all know, that is an extremely, extremely powerful ability in the arena. What's also great here is she's ignoring Stone Skin, so similar to Georgid, she's ignoring Strengthen, Ally Protection, Shield buff, so she can get through Necrit, right? She's a Necrit counter, she's a Georgid counter because he's going to have very little health. And again, block revive can really do some damage. So this skill has so much potential, and I think it's better than people think when it comes to live arena battles. And again, we'll get into kind of her downsides and upsides in a bit, but let's go through the rest of her kit. Moonlight Gift places a 50% increase attack buff, a 30% increase crit rate buff, and a 30% increase crit damage buff on this champion for 3 turns, and then grants an extra turn. So this is part of what makes her unique, right? She is buffing herself and she's giving herself crit rate, attack, and crit damage. So, you know, she has the ability to make herself hit way, way harder. And this is important because it factors into how I've chosen to build her and how I think she's best built for live arena purposes. Then we've got the Metamorph, the change forms, and then we've got a passive, Relentless Hunt, heals this champion by 20% of the damage inflicted. That's pretty cool. Places a revive on death buff on this champion for 2 turns every time they kill an enemy. Okay. Ah, nice. Hey, revive on death. It's like Kratraxa. You know what I mean? We'll take that. We'll take any kind of little bonus. It's not an incredible passive, but it's not bad either. It's a nice little bonus in general. I've got her in Phantom Touch. It's not 6-star. She's only 5-star. So would love to get her 6-star to get that bonus speed, attack, and crit damage. But I think Phantom Touch or Soul Reap are probably your best bets for blessings. You could also go Lightning Cage potentially if you're pairing her up with Necrit. And I do think she works very well with Necrit as a pair. Let's look at her secondary form now. So Again, as always, Plarium's art department, I mean, I don't think there's a better art department in mobile RPG games out there. They really, the dudes at Plarium, the women at Plarium, whoever it is, the people at Plarium are legendary at art. I can't even draw a straight line, so I'm always very impressed by this. She looks great. Super cool champion. Let's break down her secondary form. This is a really unique form, and she's got some really unique abilities here. So, Spirit of the Pack, her A1 is an AoE, attacks all enemies. This attack will not trigger counterattacks. Guys, I mean, think about how useful that is in today's meta. Who are some of the people you see in arena all the time that do counterattacks? Taurus and Marichka, right? Taurus and Marichka, that's right. So this will not trigger counterattacks, and it also won't trigger counterattacks from champions like Helicath. So she can hypothetically be used to counter Helicath as well, and she is the right affinity, which is also something to note. Now, I will make a quick exception to fighting, Taurus and Marichka with her is because she's an attack-based champion, and Taurus has the ability to passively decrease your attack. She's not the best champion for fighting them. So again, another reason to nerf Taurus and Marichka, add it to the board of 5 million different reasons about things that make them completely unbalanced, because I think she was meant to be somewhat of a counter to them. And the reality is that she's not going to survive versus Taurus, and she's also going to be weakened drastically every time she hits him. So whatever, that's neither here nor there. She does place an extra hit on enemies under True Fear debuffs, and that comes into play because her A2, Life Shredder, is also an AoE, hits twice, and places a True Fear debuff for 2 turns. It will also not trigger counterattacks, and it will also ignore unkillable and block damage buffs. So this is the anti-Helicath machine right here. She's ignoring block damage, she's ignoring unkillable with this specific ability. That's awesome. You know what I mean? I love that. I think this is a really solid ability. 3-turn cooldown, by the way. And again, having another AoE that also can place a True Fear, never a bad thing. Challenges polymorph, as we all know, but still cool ability, a lot of potential, low cooldown. Metamorph, again, she can switch back. And then her passive in this form is really interesting. Increases this champion's attack and crit damage by 20% while in their alternate form. So she's buffing her damage in this form as well. Pretty cool. So I'm really interested to see how hard she can hit when she's set up properly. But there's one more thing to look at with her skill kit here, and that is her aura. And that is she has a crit rate in all battles aura. Now, this is important because how I've chosen to build her and how I think she is best utilized is potentially taking advantage of this. Because remember, on her A1, or excuse me, on her A1 form, her original form, she boosts her own crit rate. So I think this is a champion where you don't, I can't believe I'm saying this, you don't need to build her for 100% crit rate. Let's take a look at the masteries that I put on her first as well, because they are a little bit different than my standard also as well. Let me just shift my camera around. I love that effect so much. So cool. So cool, that effect. All right, we've got her in standard stuff in terms of, increased crit rate, increased crit damage, etc. I've also got her in Helm's Master. All of this is standard. And I've put Cycle of Violence on her to increase her cooldown whenever she does max damage. But I've left her in Ruthless Ambush because I want her doing as much damage as possible when she's using that A2 block revive. So I would probably switch her to Whirlwind of Death to make her faster, but I really want her to have a higher chance of killing the first enemy I target with that, given that that is a block revive skill, and I want to maximize damage for that specific skill. So I have left Ruthless Ambush. Now I've put her in the support tree because I do want her to have a bit of accuracy, because even with Polymorph, I want her to be able to hypothetically place that True Fear debuff. The trade-off is worth it, I think, sort of. Not really, but, worth it enough for me to try and do it. And you'll also notice I've gone a little bit different direction here, in that, yeah, Cycle of Magic, cool. Chance to reduce her skill cooldowns, always a good thing. But I've put her in Lasting Gifts. Why, Drock? Why would I put this champion in Lasting Gifts? She's a damage champion. What the heck's going on? Well, the reason why I've done this is I want her to have a chance to extend her crit rate, crit damage, and attack percentage buffs that she gives herself in her main form. She can extend her Revive on Death, and that's totally fine. But I want her to have a chance of extending this skill, because the problem with mythicals right now is when you take them into their secondary form, when you switch them in there, it counts as a turn. And that means that even though she gives herself a 3-turn buff in that first form, she already grants herself an extra turn, so she's losing 1 turn there. So she realistically, by the time she uses an ability, like if she uses her in her main form, if she uses her A2, by the time she actually transitions into her second form, that crit rate buff is gone normally. That crit damage buff, that attack percentage buff is gone. And this is why it's important that her aura is increased crit rate, as well as the fact that I'm putting her in lasting gifts so that she has a chance of increasing her crit rate through her actual skill ability. Make sense? I think it does. And here's why. Let's take a look at her build. So we've got her in Savage and we've got her in Speed, and we've got her built fast. Not quite as fast as I can go, but fast, fast, fast. We've got triple speed, attack percentage, crit damage. We've got triple speed, crit rate, attack. I can actually, hold on. What am I doing? Drock, what are you doing here? Boost it up, baby. Nice. A little more attack. Nice. I love it. I think I took this off of my Arbiter, which is probably why I didn't do this, but you know what? Screw it. Whatever. We're boosting it up anyway. Not good when I face Taurus, but for the video, do it for the video, Drock. I can't walk those back, unlike Ascension, so it is what it is. We got crit rate, speed, a little HP boost, a little crit damage. We've got attack percentage, Ascension. Oh, how glorious is this new system, by the way? Oh, my Lord. The amount of power you can change your champions is just nuts. Crit damage, gloves, attack percentage, chest, attack percentage, Ascension, speed, crit rate, and then finally, speed, crit damage, crit rate, and attack percentage. So I do have a rare piece on here, but it did ascend speed, and it does have attack percentage, which is important. Let's take a look at her accessories. Now, again, I could make her faster. I've got a triple roll attack banner I could put on her to make her even faster, but I left the reaction banner on just in case somebody hits her first. So hypothetically, she could be potentially outsped by a really fast Taurus, Marichka, etc. So this gives her a little bit more survivability. We've got crit damage and crit damage Ascension on the amulet, and then we've got a triple roll of attack percentage on the ring. So pretty darn strong gear on her. And again, she's not fully awakened. She's only 5 stars. So what does all of this add up to? She is +1, which you can't see right here. I'll scroll down just to make sure. She is +1. Yes, there she is. But let's take a look at her full stat profile. So 39k HP, only 2200 defense. So she's definitely a glass cannon. 7600 attack is not bad when you look at her speed. Her speed, I'm about to choke here. Her speed, 309. So I have built her very, very, very fast. Hypothetically, I could probably get her 320, 330 even if I changed out a little bit of gear. But a big part of the reason why is you'll notice I built her crit rate to 73%. Wait a second, 73%? Why? The math's not mathing, Drock. Why are you not building to 100%? Well, because she's got a 27% crit rate aura. Aha! 73 plus 27 is 100%. So she has the ability to use her aura to bring her to 100%. But ideally, you don't even have to do that at all. You're just going to use the Moonlight gift. So you have an option here. And the reason why I built to 73% again is so I can get those higher speeds without sacrificing all my gear in order to do it. And also because the way I see her being used is that her biggest problem, similar to Siegfried, is that her sexiest ability, her scariest ability is the block revive, which is in her main form, right? And the problem is that you can counter this champion with lockout. Well, if you get locked out, so let's say you're in a live arena and you can't ban the lockout champion because maybe the enemy picks a Georgid, or maybe, well, technically she's a good counter for Georgia, but maybe the enemy picks the freaking lizard with stone skin. Well, actually, she would be a good counter for that, but the affinity is wrong. The point is, maybe somebody picks an enemy that you can't ban lockout. And so you're worried about, well, what do I do? How do I get the crit rate on her if she can't use that A3 skill? You just use her aura. You just put her as the lead. Yeah, you might sacrifice a little bit of speed, but at the same time, you guarantee her crit rates when she switches to her alternate form to counter that lockout. So that is why I have built her the way I have. A very non-standard build, kind of comparable to Turvold a little bit. Like ideally in an ideal world, yeah, you'd have her at 100% crit rate. You'd have her at 330 speed. You'd have her at 8,000 plus attack. But that really takes being fully ascended or fully awakened, I should say. And it also takes her being +4, and she's just not there yet. So this is my compromise build. So we're going to take her into the testing range. We're going to see what she can do. And then we're going to bring her into arena and see how she does there. So let's go jump on in to the dungeons. Now, I had a couple people give me really fantastic suggestions. And I'm going to try to incorporate them into this video. I used to do this a little bit, but I used to give you guys an example of a champion doing damage before her so you can see the difference, right? And you know what? Hey, this is perfect. Why don't we take a look at Siegfried and see what Siegfried reminds you damage-wise what he does, and then we'll switch over to Mezomel to see what she does. So this is a great kind of litmus test. Now, Siegfried is not the strongest damage dealer, as we know, but he is built stronger than her. He's got 8,500 or 8,700 attack right now and 300% crit damage. So he is built stronger than her. So let's see what he does. Let's remind ourselves what Siegfried does. And again, he's not a meta nuker, but I had to pull some gear off of Georgia in order to build her this fast. So, all right, there's the Seraphic Wave, 228, 208. That's what we saw. Cool. Let's do his A3 just to get an idea. His single target is doing 332. Cool. 228 for the AoE, 332 for the single target. Now, let's switch him out with her and put Mezomel in there. And let's see what she can do. Now, I haven't tested her. I have no idea how this is going to go. So this will be illuminating for me like it will for you. Now, we're going to have to switch one turn with her, obviously, because I don't have my Lydia fast enough. So we'll just hit up here with the A1 just to get an idea. You know, nothing. Oh, my God. What am I doing? I already didn't give her the crit rate and the increased attack. I can do it next turn, actually. It doesn't matter. I can do it next turn. I almost wasted energy there. But then I realized she gets another turn. She could buff herself then. It's late, guys. I'm recording this at like 1 a.m. So, okay, we're going to use her A3 here to increase her attack, crit rate, and crit damage. Now, obviously, she's already got an increased attack from Arbiter, but we do give her that increased crit damage, which is nice. And now let's use the A2, and let's use it right here. Let's see what it does. It's a double hitter. Bam, bam, 119, 150 something, I think. So close to 300K. So not super strong, right? This is her biggest criticism, is that block revive ability, the multipliers on it aren't comparable to Georgian. And that is true. She does not hit as hard as Georgian, which is probably a good thing given that she is blocking revive. So it's tricky because you need to build her with an immense amount of attack in order to really make this ability work. But the way I think about it is you're going to be using her typically in a situation where you are facing a nuker that is a glass cannon. So I'm pulling out Mezomel in arena when I am facing Georgia. If I'm facing Georgia, you know what's scary as hell? Mezomel. Mezomel is extremely scary. Let's switch her into her secondary form. Luckily, we've got the buffs up still, so we can still test this. We got increased crit rate, attack, crit damage. So let's take her A2 for a spin. She does get the passive increase attack and crit damage in this form, so don't forget that. Let's see what she does. This is a double hitter. Bam, bam. Hey, that was not bad. 163, 149. That was not bad. That was certainly better than Siegfried with a double hit, right? Let's go back and test that again. I want to test that alternate form again here. Hold on. That hit pretty well. That didn't hit like God tier, but that definitely hit harder than Siegfried. And again, you know, he's built with more base stats than her. So that's her buff coming into play and rocking stuff out. Do I want to use this yet? I think I still have to wait just to make sure. We did get a crit there, so 72k on the A1, not bad. Again, we want to get Lydia's debuffs up here, decrease defense and weaken. And yeah, we'll just zip this around. Okay, let's buff up. So we're going to switch forms. You'll notice her buffs, they all tick down a turn. Again, this is something I think they kind of need to think about adjusting because it really does make mythicals harder to use. But let's use her A2 again. Let's just see what she does. I can't, there's so many letters, I can't read it. I can't read it, but all I know is it killed everybody. All I know is it killed everybody, right? And that isn't a given when it comes to testing damaged champions, right? So that's good. I think she was doing over 300k damage or close to it. She was definitely doing more damage than Siegfried, that is for sure. So that's not bad. All right, let's do one more test. Wasting all the energy for you guys. I just want to see what her A1 hits like in that secondary form quickly, just to get an idea. Boost up. Boop, boop. Okay, increase. There we go. All right, let's get the buffs up, increase the crit rate, switch your form, and let's just see what the A1 does. Because this is also an AoE, right? And it doesn't trigger counterattacks, like I mentioned. I mean, for an A1, that's not bad. You know what I mean? AoE A1, and she just took off 3/4 of the life bar here. That's like equivalent to some bad nukers A2s, right? And that's her A1. Not bad. That's solid. That's solid. I think she is capable of doing more damage than people realize, depending on how you build her. But let's take her into Platinum Arena, and let's find out how viable she is against the meta, aka Taurus, Marichka, and every other godforsaken champion that they've put in this game. Now, she's amazing, obviously, against our boy Sun Wukong. So if that's the only Sun Wukong defense, this guy's a very low account. No, I'm going to refresh. Okay, here we go. That's a little bit better. Still nothing crazy. Now, this is a great example of where she can struggle and how she can really be countered, because UDK really counters her pretty hard. Because that block revive ability, though it's a 2-hitter, each hit isn't super strong by itself. So let's see if we have enough. I think we'll have enough to kill through this. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's find out. Okay, we're going to give ourselves the increased crit rate. Boop, boop. Yep, killed right through it. Not bad. Not bad. And now we just blocked revive. So now he has no damage. Now we can just sit here and chill. And honestly, once the threat is eliminated, we just switch into the alternate form. And we say, hey, cowabunga, baby. Boom, boom. Now, again, I didn't make her the lead here. So technically, she doesn't have full crit right now. So this is where it can go sideways pretty quickly if you're not making her the lead, if you're not building her with 73%, or if you're building her with only 73% crit rate, right? But again, we've block revived on the threat. So at this point, I'm just kind of chilling, right? I'm not worried. I'm not freaking out. Nobody here can kill her. And even if they did, I can just res her and it wouldn't be a problem. So we'll just keep hitting. Boop, boop. Get another buff. Let's put that on, and then let's go back to auto. Yep, nice, good times. Good times. Now, I could switch her back in. In fact, I will actually. I think I will switch her back to the other mode just to see what she does. I mean, it won't even be a problem. Let's switch her back. She's got all her abilities back. Buff up again, and Bob's your uncle. Block the revive. The UDK goes down. Nice. Nice. Let's do another test. Let's see if we can find a harder. We'll go Taurus Marichka in a second. Let's see if we can find another team that makes sense. I took pieces off of my Arbiter to do this, so I'm really tempting fate here. Ooh, this would be a really good test. Holy my boy S5. This I feel like this is gonna be an ownage. All right, I do have to, I think, put her in the crit rate perspective here. I might get outsped, I probably will, but I need her to be critted And this will be a good test because obviously in that secondary form, Taurus is going to be reducing her damage. So let's see what she can do when she's facing a full-on big boy Taurus, right? UDK really makes it tough, but this is a good example. Let's take a look. The CV took a turn, so they know there's no reaction. Let's just see what she does. One hit. She ignores shield. She's going to have one of her hits blocked by UDK. So she did maybe about half damage there. She wouldn't have killed the Sifi, I can tell you that much. She definitely would not have killed the Sifi through the UDK. So, UDK, he's toxic, bro. He's toxic because without UDK, she becomes a lot more viable, for sure. A lot scarier when you do hit with that block revive. Let's switch her in her alternate form. Now she has 100% crit rate because of how we've built her. Whoa! Chop the Sifi down. Okay. I see you. She's got the AoE. Now she's reducing her attack every time she does this, which is not great. Not great, Bob. So we'll see how this plays over time because she's going to, now she just got decreased attacks. And now we're really getting screwed. Still did okay damage, all things considered. Let's get the buffs back up on her. Let's get increased attack back up on her. At least her attack is now normal, except for the fact that it's been decreased. Oh, and you see she starts to really struggle damage-wise. You just see she starts to struggle. Now, granted, we had decreased attack up, but that passive from Taurus, you know what I mean? It really affects her capabilities in the arena. It really hurts. Really hurts. Oh, it's so tough because you look at this team and like this is a team that you throw Georgia at, you throw another Taurus at, you know what I mean? Or even maybe a Ramontu and you pray to God you don't get sheep. But given that there's 3 champions with full polymorph, that's a really risky proposition. So it's tough, man. It's just tough. I don't think we'll be fast enough here. Let's see if we can kill through the Necrit. This is, I think, her best case scenario. If they actually made Taurus less broken, she might be a little more useful, right? But at the moment, he's absurdly overpowered and has been for a long time. So I think this is where she's best. Boop, boop, block revive. She's a Georgian killer. That's where you use her. You know what I mean? You use her against Georgian. If you've got her and you face a Georgian and you have her built right, you practically have to ban her. Or your Georgian is going to die. Especially if your other nuker gets banned. So a lot of times people will pick her and then they'll ban the other nuker just to make sure you're left with Georgian. And there is nothing scarier than this werewolf coming at you when all you've got is a Georgia, because you're going to get block revive. Let's try one more Taurus Mishka team. Let's try one that doesn't have UDK because it does counter her so hard. Everybody, it's not even reset and everyone's already got it in there. Okay. I don't think that I'm fast enough to take this on, but we'll try. We'll give it a go. Okay, never mind. They did resist, which is a bummer. Now, I built her so fast. Zoop, zoop. Say goodnight. That's always, dude, I have to say, like, hitting somebody with block revive, there's nothing sweeter than blocking the revive of someone. I think we can all agree on that, right? Especially against Marichka teams. Like, if she weren't attack based, you could really do some nutty stuff. I'm actually not going to switch her. I'm going to keep her in this mode because I don't want to sacrifice her attack just yet. I want to keep blocking the revive. And I want to block. I don't think she's going to be able to kill the CV. Never mind. I was wrong. She killed very nicely. Okay. This is where we get in trouble though, because I cannot. Damn. And this is the other downside again to Mythicals, is that she's getting those debuffs put up because she's actually It doesn't, I forgot, it doesn't trigger counterattack, so I don't have to worry about that, but we did get the true fear. So we didn't get counterattack there, even though we hit both. That's great. We are lowering our attack, though, which is very bad. We don't want that. Not much we can do about it, though. Hey, look, the true fear kept her from doing anything. Kept Tars from doing stuff. Wait, what the hell? Hold on. Wait. Whoa. That ability I thought doesn't trigger counterattacks. Am I crazy? Doesn't her A1 not trigger counterattacks? Wait, what the hell just happened? Hold on here. What the hell? Attacks on enemies, this attack will not trigger counterattacks. I don't get it. We got a bug, my friends. You saw it here first. If you're watching this video, that's the first time I've seen that happen. She's not supposed to trigger counterattacks with that ability. Okay, well, she's bugged. Now we know. Because that's her A1. That's what I used. I used her A1, and I got counterattacked by the Taurus. What the hell is going on here? Well, I'll be. Okay. Boy, am I glad we did a test on her, because that is 100% not supposed to happen. At all. We're going to switch her back. Man. Okay, well, we caught a bug. That's a bug for sure. Block revive. Nice. So now we don't have to worry anymore. We can just kind of chill here. Oh, man. It really shows you how hard it is to use mythicals. Now, she does have that awesome revive on death ability because she killed somebody. But still, very tricky to use mythicals because they run out of their buffs so fast switching forms. Now the question is, does she die from Taurus? Okay, she did get the shield up. Thankfully, Sifi hit her first. Man, I'm shocked. That's bugged. That's definitely bugged. There's no way that's not. That is not supposed to happen. See if we can just finish off with the A2 here. We got increased attack. All right, they're dead. Not a good time, obviously, but interesting. Okay, so, well, there you go, guys. We just saw that she is definitely bugged on her A1. I mean, the reason why I know like it's triggering a counterattack is because it was his A2. It wasn't like it was a revenge accessory or something else or like retaliation set. It was literally his A2, which means the coding didn't work correctly for Marichka. At least I'm pretty sure. Let me know down in the comments below if maybe I got it wrong, but I think that I'm right based on how I'm reading that skill. Because again, it says very clearly, does not trigger counterattacks, and that is 100% a counterattack. So interesting. Okay. Well, that just solidifies what I said earlier, right? That basically solidifies what I said earlier. You don't use this champion against Taurus and Marichka in spite of the fact that she has a block revive. She just can't do enough damage to take out Taurus unless you're blocking his passive with somebody else like, Rhonda hypothetically or Ramontu. And on top of that, she's losing attack every time she hits him, which makes her very, very, very unviable because she becomes very weak. Again, she already has a damage problem from the perspective of she's not going to hit as hard as the strongest nukers in the game, like Georgian. And you know what? Hold on. Where's my Georgian? What piece did I take off my Georgia to do this? Maybe I do a quick test just to show you one final bonus follow-up. Why not? I took off Georgian's, what's his crit rate at? He still has 100% crit rate. Perfect. Let's just do one test. He's actually a lot closer to her in damage now. He's still a little bit ahead of her. But if we go to the dungeon and just do a quick test, hilarious that my Georgian has 100% crit rate even without a weapon. Built different. All right, where is Georgia? Let's just do a quick test here because I'm actually curious. What does Georgia do when he's built similarly? He still is built better, but similarly versus her. Well, that was no decrease defense. Did pretty well there in the A1. George is just a monster. There's really no other way to put it. He's just a freaking monster. All right, let's just hit which one did we do the A1 on? We did it on this one. Yeah, 375. Yeah, that's pretty good. 375 and he gets another turn. Let's do the nuke now. And we don't know if Helm Smasher proc or didn't proc, but 250, 258. Hey, we definitely didn't get a Helm Smasher proc there. No Helm Smasher proc there. So that was actually not as good as I thought off the A2. Hold on, I want to see that again. I've wasted so much energy on this, but I need to see it one last time just to confirm. Okay, again, let's just drill this champion. But see, the A1 on Georgia is so good. That's the other difference too. The A1 is so good in a way that Mezomel's A1 is just not. All right, let's take one last blast here. We did 363, so similar, and let's take another look. 246. That actually hit for way less than I thought. Did I lose the attack? Am I losing the increased attack? Is that what's happening? Am I screwing myself? Hold on. This is why I never did this on showcases before. I doubt anyone's still watching this, but if you are, thank you. Hold on. Okay, we killed her again. He's got increased attack. Yeah, I think we're losing the increased attack is what's happening here because I'm an idiot. Maybe we're not. I'll find out when I look back. Let's just take another look. No, we're not. Okay, interesting. That's hitting for way less than I thought. Wow. Interesting. Okay. I mean, he's got 100% crit rate. So that's kind of shocking. I honestly thought that his A2 hit harder. I guess it's really all down to RNG, right? Because with Georgia, you're hoping. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Drock. He's not in Savage, guys. No wonder he's hitting for way less damage. Oh my God. You know what? I'm not even going to cut this out because that's important. I think that you guys see how much goes into like trying to build these champions and test them. And like you're pulling pieces from so many different champions to try to make it work. This is a great example of it's late at night and clearly my brain stopped functioning. So enjoy. That was completely pointless testing the Georgia considering he doesn't have Savage on him. Whatever. Point being this was a Mezomel showcase, not a Georgian showcase. And I'll just close saying this. Mezomel is viable in live arena, specifically to counter very, very weak champions like Georgian. So champions that can be killed easily. So Georgian, Xena, trying to think who else would fit the bill. Any kind of weak attack-based nuker that is not, magic affinity. Mezomel can work. Mezomel can work if you build her strong enough, if you build her fast enough. But it really does take having very strong gear to pull off because her multipliers are not great. Anyway, that's my showcase. I hope you enjoyed this extended version with many screw-ups. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of Mezomel and if you can see yourself using her in arena or live arena. And as always, guys, thank you so much for the support, and I will see you on a live stream soon. All right, Big Papa Drock, out!